Synchronicity is much like a cross between Predestination and Time Crimes. If you've seen either of those movies, you'll have a rough idea what Synchronicity is about. It is about a physicist who accidentally discovers time travel and finds himself back in time a few days to when he was about to do his experiment, which caused time travel, and discover why someone is trying to steal it from him, and just who is this mysterious girl that just keeps appearing in his life. There's not a great deal of named actors in this, but there is one, and that is Michael Ironside. Typical fashion, he plays a bad guy, a kind of corporate bad guy that's looking to steal the business from under this physicist. Now, it does have a time travel gimmick to it, with multiple of the same people running about trying not to get in contact with each other as they go about their typical fashion of trying to figure out what the hell is going on, how do they stop it, and how do they keep running into themselves in mysterious fashions that solves themselves later on as they repurpose a scene and show how another version of the same character actually caused the events that happened earlier in the movie. But below that, it's a love story, and quite a banal and boring one at that. You get this relationship that you don't really buy into and you're not really interested in. They have moments where the flirtatious nature is almost infectious, but pretty soon that just dulls down into mundanity that you just don't really care about. The movie has a particular look about it. It is definitely aping the Blade Runner movie. That's not a bad thing to do, because Blade Runner was a very individual, very visually striking movie, but you're instantly taken to that movie. Now, the good thing about it is they've got completely different plots, so it doesn't get that hang up. And if you're going to copy some sort of sci-fi movie, why not go for one of the most strikingly visual ones ever made? Again, the score is extremely like the Blade Runner score, very much so. Every time it had those loud twangs in the soundtrack, I was reminded of Blade Runner, and reminded that this movie just wasn't as good as that classic. The movie starts off strongly, creating this time travel element that really draws you into this tale. You get some characters that you're interested in, like the physicist, or like the female that appears out of nowhere, and you're kind of wondering what she got to do with everything. But very quickly, it becomes tedious, uninteresting. You're not waiting on the next revelation. You just don't really care that much, or I didn't anyway. And then by the time you get to the end of the movie, you're waiting for it to end. You're not really interested in the conclusion, and the conclusion for me wasn't that satisfying, not enough to warrant watching the full movie. Synchronicity had some things going for it. It had this visual look and a score, but then again, that is a kind of takeoff of Blade Runner. It had an interesting premise that it never quite lived up to, which was a shame in my book. It's got Michael Ironside, who is always fantastic. I mean, he's playing a bad guy. He can do it with his eyes shut, and he always does a tremendous job at it as well. Synchronicity could have been better. It maybe should have been better. It gets bogged down with the intricacies of its storytelling by thinking it's a little bit too clever than what it actually is. It's something that visually striking but emotionally hollow at the same time. It's not a story that you're going to go back to or even remember a day later or want to talk about with colleagues or friends. It's not one of those movies. I gave Synchronicity 2.5 out of 5. It was okay, not the best, middle of the road, kind of meh. Have you seen it? Let me know in the comment box your thoughts, whether you liked it, you hated it, what you liked about it, what you didn't like about it. I would love to know, and we'll have a discussion, and I will see you next time on Man vs. Film.